Good morning. Before you reach for that first cup of coffee, I need you to stay right here, because what I am about to share with you could be the difference between walking confidently through your 70s and 80s and quietly losing the independence you have worked your entire life to protect. Most people over 60 are told that weak legs are simply part of getting older, that the stiffness in the morning, the heaviness by afternoon, the fear of stumbling on the stairs, that this is just aging doing what aging does. I am here to tell you that is one of the most damaging things we could ever believe about ourselves. My name is Dr. Alan Mandel, and after more than 3 decades working with older adults, I can tell you with complete confidence, your legs are not giving up on you. They are waiting for you to give them what they need. And it starts, every single morning, with what you put on your plate. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, how old are you and what is one physical activity you are determined to keep doing no matter what? Whether it is walking your dog, dancing at your granddaughter's wedding, or simply getting to the mailbox and back without holding on to something. Leave it below. I read every single comment, and your answer shapes the content I make for you. Now let us get into this. We are counting down from number 4 to number 1. And number 1 is something you have probably been eating for years but have been preparing in a way that strips out the very nutrients your leg muscles are desperate for. Stay until the end because that one correction alone could change everything. Number 4. Eggs. The whole egg, not just the white. I know what you are thinking. Everyone knows eggs are healthy, but here is what almost nobody tells you about what eggs specifically do for aging legs. After 65, your muscles develop something researchers call anabolic resistance. When you were younger, eating protein sent a clear signal to your muscles: grow, repair, rebuild. But as we age, muscles begin to ignore that signal. They hear it, but they stop responding the way they should. This is one of the primary reasons leg strength declines even in seniors who are eating what they believe is a healthy diet. The yolk of a whole egg contains leucine, the single most powerful amino acid known to science for breaking through that resistance and forcing muscles to respond again. It also contains vitamin D, B12, and choline, which act as the ignition system that helps your aging muscles actually use the protein you are giving them. A study from the University of Illinois found that older adults who ate whole eggs showed 40% greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who ate egg whites alone. I had a patient, Eleanor, 72, from Nashville, who had been avoiding egg yolks for 20 years because of outdated cholesterol advice. When she began eating 2 whole eggs every morning, scrambled slowly in a small amount of olive oil, her physical therapist noted measurable improvement in her quadriceps strength within just 8 weeks. Eleanor told me, "I feel like someone turned the lights back on in my legs." For best results, eat 2 whole eggs within the first 45 minutes of waking. Cook on low heat to preserve nutrients. Pair with a small handful of spinach. The magnesium in spinach enhances leucine absorption at the cellular level. Number 3. Oatmeal. But only when you upgrade it. This way. Plain oatmeal by itself does almost nothing for leg muscle preservation. But when you prepare it correctly, it becomes one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory muscle-protecting breakfasts available to you. Here is why. Oats contain a fiber called beta-glucan, which has been shown in research from Harvard Medical School to significantly reduce a compound called interleukin-6, one of the primary inflammatory signals that directly attacks muscle tissue in adults over 65. Researchers call this process inflammaging, chronic low-grade inflammation that silently destroys muscle fibers in your legs, hips, and core year after year. Beta-glucan acts like a fire extinguisher on that process. But the critical upgrade is this. You must add a complete protein source to your oats. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that combining slow-digesting carbohydrates like oats with 20 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast produced significantly greater muscle protein synthesis throughout the entire morning than protein consumed alone. The carbohydrates trigger a controlled release of insulin, which shuttles amino acids directly into your muscle cells. Preparation. Half a cup of rolled oats, never instant, cooked slowly on the stovetop. Stir in 1 scoop of clean whey or plant-based protein powder, or add a spoonful of natural almond butter with a hard-boiled egg on the side. Add 1 teaspoon of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper. The black pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%, making this one of the most anti-inflammatory breakfasts you can eat. Number 2. Tart cherries or tart cherry juice. This one surprises almost every patient I share it with, and the science behind it is extraordinary. Every day, even just from walking, climbing stairs, or standing in your kitchen, your muscle fibers experience microscopic damage. In younger adults, this is repaired rapidly, but after 70, your body loses up to 35% of its ability to neutralize the oxidative byproducts of that daily activity. They accumulate, they inflame, they destroy muscle tissue slowly, day after day, without you ever feeling a single dramatic moment of injury. Tart cherries contain a concentrated dose of anthocyanins, antioxidant compounds that directly neutralize the molecules attacking your muscle fibers. A landmark study from Oregon Health and Science University found that adults over 65 who drank tart cherry juice every morning for 12 weeks showed a 22% reduction in markers of muscle damage and measurable improvement in lower body strength. Tart cherries also contain natural melatonin, not enough to make you sleepy, but enough to significantly improve sleep quality. And this matters profoundly for your legs, because 70% of your daily growth hormone release happens during deep sleep. Growth hormone is the signal your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle overnight. Tart cherry juice creates a cycle of nighttime recovery that compounds over weeks and months. I think of my patient Frank, 79, from Albuquerque. He had given up his evening walks because by late afternoon his legs were simply spent. Within 6 weeks of adding tart cherry juice to his morning routine, he was walking again and sleeping through the night for the first time in years. For best results, drink 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened tart cherry juice within the first 20 minutes of waking. Pair it with your eggs or oatmeal. The anti-inflammatory compounds in the juice enhance how well your body absorbs dietary leucine, making your protein work harder. Number 1. Wild-caught salmon. But almost everyone prepares it wrong. Salmon is the single most powerful morning food for stopping leg muscle loss after 60, and the preparation mistake most people make is costing them the very benefits they are trying to get. Wild-caught salmon contains the highest natural concentration of EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids of any commonly available food. But what most people, including many physicians, do not fully appreciate is the direct role these compounds play in preventing what researchers call muscle protein breakdown acceleration, the dominant force of muscle loss after 65. A study from Washington University School of Medicine followed adults averaging 71 years old on a salmon-rich diet for 6 months. The salmon group showed 35% greater preservation of type 2 muscle fibers, the fast twitch fibers responsible for balance, explosive strength, and the ability to catch yourself when you stumble, compared to the control group. These are the fibers that keep you safe on stairs, on uneven pavement, and when rising from a chair. Losing them is what leads to falls. Losing them is what ends independence. Wild salmon also contains astaxanthin, an antioxidant that is literally 6,000 times more effective than vitamin C at protecting the mitochondria inside your muscle cells. Mitochondria are the power plants of your muscle fibers. After 70, you lose up to 25% of your mitochondrial density. Astaxanthin is one of the only naturally occurring compounds known to protect and partially restore that function. Here is the critical mistake. Most people cook salmon at high heat. Anything over 375 degrees Celsius oxidizes the omega-3 fatty acids and degrades the astaxanthin, turning powerful muscle protective compounds into molecules your body can barely use. The correct method: poach salmon gently in water with a squeeze of lemon, or bake at no higher than 275 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes. The texture will be silkier, the color more vibrant, the nutritional value dramatically higher. Make it the evening before and refrigerate it. Cold salmon with Greek yogurt dressing and cucumber takes 3 minutes to plate and is a genuinely beautiful morning meal. Leave the skin on during cooking. The fat directly beneath the skin holds the highest concentration of DHA, and it renders perfectly at low temperatures. Synergy tip: eat your salmon alongside any source of vitamin K2, a small amount of aged cheese, kimchi, sauerkraut, or Gouda. Vitamin K2 works in concert with the vitamin D in salmon to direct nutrients directly into muscle tissue, creating what researchers at Erasmus University described as a synergistic anabolic effect in adults over 70. Here's what I want you to understand, and I want you to carry this with you today. The loss of leg strength is not a sentence. It is not what aging does to everyone. It is what happens when the body is not given what it needs, at the time it needs it, in the form it can use. Every morning is a conversation with your muscles. The question is whether you are speaking to them in a language they can hear. Whole eggs, upgraded oatmeal, tart cherry juice, wild-caught salmon, prepared correctly. These are not exotic interventions. They are the raw materials your legs have been waiting for. I have watched patients in their 80s reclaim strength they had written off as gone forever. I have seen people go from holding the wall to walking the neighborhood, not because of a prescription, but because of what they chose to put on their plate before 9 in the morning. Your legs are still listening. Start speaking to them tomorrow. All scientific references mentioned today are linked in the description below. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We release new content every single week for adults over 60 who refuse to accept that aging has to mean decline. Because it does not, and you deserve to know that.